this long, man. You are legendary to me in Pittsburgh. Definitely that. When it comes to Pittsburgh hip hop, you're legendary to me. And yes, you pave the way
from. Trying to be better than I was yesterday. That's it. Yeah, I don't know all that. I just try to be better than I was yesterday.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what is it that you do?
Okay, so I am from Braddock. Born in Braddock, raised in Swissvale, you know what I mean? Just a Mon Valley kid. Got involved with music probably about late 83, 84. It's just been a thing that I've always done. So, you know what I mean? Started DJing probably about 85, and the rest has been history, you know what I mean? From, working with different artists to, traveling. I was in the military, DJ'd there. Yeah, that's it. Nothing real complicated.
Awesome. Since 85, that's wow. Woo.
Right.
Like I said, you got some years in the game, and that's absolutely beautiful. How did you get started DJing? Like, what made you want to get in it?
So, like 83, 84, I went to a party with an older cousin, and obviously too young to be up in the joint. So the DJ pulled up and he was putting his equipment in, and I just started helping, you know what I mean? Take crates in and his speakers and, watched him hook up and whatever. And party started, and I was still standing in there, and they just let it ride. Like, so I'm like, all right, cool. So you got to figure, I'm 14, 13, everybody's 18, 19, you know what I mean? Like, so that's a big, huge gap between 14 and 18.
Yeah.
So, I'm on there and I'm in there and I'm, paying attention to what's going on, and DJ goes to the bathroom. Hey, don't touch nothing. Don't let nobody touch my stuff. Okay, cool. Just kind of stood there and observed what he was doing. And he played a record. I can't remember exactly what record it was. And basically he did a drop, which is basically he cut the record off and the crowd continued.
Hold on, not sure what's happening here. Your side's kind of cutting up. There you go. You were back.
Sorry about that. But so
it's all good.
Basically, what happened was, the crowd continued to sing those lyrics, and I was hooked. It was over. Like, just to be in control of that environment. You know what I mean? From standing behind and playing records. Yeah, I was locked in.
Sweet. So, let's see. What is your creative process like?
With what exactly?
It could be with DJing. It could be with your
DJing. So my trade, DJing. My creative process is I'm always trying to find that song that I feel will connect with people that they're not aware of. That's what drew me to working with independent artists, because you know what I mean. There's a lot of dope artists out here that are not getting the notoriety or the spins that they should. So I like to work with independent artists and mix them in with national artists, and then cross genres as well. So it was always, I always wanted to paint my picture with different colors, if nothing else. You know what I mean? So on some senses, I was loved for it. People really enjoyed it. And then, on other hands, I was hated for it because people wanted to just hear what they was used to hearing on the radio. And I really wasn't into that. You know what I mean? I'll give you some of it, but I would never stay with a straight, normal, what everybody knows playlist. That was never me.
I like that. So you're like versatile, and
exactly.
I like that. How you play independent artists. That's absolutely, which gets me to my next question. Tell me about your radio station, your radio.
So Square One Radio, literally started in probably so it's been 10 years, but I literally woke up and was like, I want a radio station. 3 days later, I had one. Like, I literally, in 3 days, got a radio station because it was something that I wanted to do. I figured out how to do it and started. Was I prepared? No. There's a lot of hours, there's a lot of time, there's a lot of music, there's a lot, that you have to do. But in the same breath, it's what I wanted to do because, to be honest, I was getting tired of DJing in the public. It just got to the point where nobody had any type of variety, and crowds were just so, I want to hear this, I want to hear this. Like, okay, you can listen to that anytime you want. That's on your phone. I'm playing stuff for you to try to introduce you to new stuff. And these crowds just got more and more closed-minded. And I just, it wasn't fun anymore. So I figured if I created a radio station and played music the way I wanted to, if you were drawn to it, you would listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be in a dance floor. You don't have to be in a bar. This is just music, and you listen to it. And it worked out. It really did. And then being a DJ for the local scene, it was like, oh, why aren't you playing more local music? I'm like, okay, you got to understand something. I got bills to pay, one, and two, like, nobody listens to local music all day and all night. So if you think for 1 second I'm just going to play all local music, that's not happening. So I had a lot of people not happy with that. So probably about 5 years ago, I figured out what you see today. I got my own servers, went out and got my own servers, put together my own site, and my site has the ability to have multiple channels on one station. So it allowed me to do exactly what I wanted to do. Introduce all different types of music, have different channels, but yet have a dedicated independent channel. So for the first 2 to 3 years, it was nothing but Pittsburgh artists. Like, I didn't play any other, you know what I mean? Like, and then I just got to the point where they weren't utilizing it, they weren't listening to it, and it was just like, this is pointless. I'm trying to give my city something that they don't want. So I 2 years ago was like, the hell with it. I'm just going to focus more on independent artists from all over than just my city. And it took off. It literally took off. So, I remember I had one conversation. I was in Kentucky, and I was at a barbershop. And a guy seen the site. I was telling him about it. And he looked at me. He was like, this is your site. You made the site. I said, yeah. He was like, bro, I never seen no black dude with no site like this. He was like, that's literally what he said to me. He was like, I never seen a black dude with no site like this. He was like, man, this is so on point. It's not even crazy. And he, like, literally got his music on there and started telling people about it. I have a barbershop that plays the radio station in, I think it's North Carolina. Really he was like, this is perfect for what I'm, my clientele. A little bit of new stuff, some old stuff, some different stuff. He was like, this is perfect. I get tired of listening to the same old trap music all day and all night. He was like, this is great. So, I'm constantly on their system in their shop. Not real big, but they got a couple chairs and a lot of people come through there, so it's cool.
Sweet. So what genres do mainly your radio station cater to? Is hip hop?
On the radio station, the channels are, we have reggae, we have R&B, we have jazz, we have gospel, we have country, EDM, rap, and then a clean rap channel, and then the independent rap.
Sweet.
Yeah. The one that I focus on the most, my baby is the independent. the channel 412. That's the one that I work the hardest on. The other ones, you know, I put music out there, keep things in rotation. But yeah, my whole focus is the independent channel.
Yes, and that's what I really what I admire about you is you tend to really push the local independent artists,
right?
And that's beautiful, man. That's absolutely beautiful. And you're the main one. You mainly and shout out to DJ Goodnight. You know, you guys are really push. You know,
right.
push us out there. Like that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
So where's some of the places that you've been as far as your artistry and
Lord.
Yes.
Been to quite a few places, you know what I mean, as far as traveling. I've done, you know, LA, Atlanta, DC, New York, Miami, like, you know what I mean? I've done all the major hotspots. The only place that I haven't been is I want to go to London and Japan. But those are the two spots that I have not been to yet, just music-wise. But, yeah. That's pretty much
Okay. Yes, that's man. See London and Japan.
London and Japan are the two I want to get to.
Yes, as far as music is as far as UK, man, it's mind blowing.
It's different.
Mind blowing. Oh my goodness! Wow. Do you have any upcoming events that you're doing?
The 17th of March, I will be having an event at Rock Till Morning. Basically, you know, it's a show that I'm allowing people to get on stage. I want to see what they got. And then, you know, from there, trying to pick some talent to do some other things throughout the rest of the year. I was just notified today that, you know, because of how many people that I actually had on the bill, that I got another day. So the 17th is one, and then on the 24th, I'll have another one. So
okay.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I didn't realize. I mean, I did, but I didn't realize that many people would want to, you know, come out and perform and be on stage. So, yeah, so it ended up working out. They gave me another day.
Awesome! That's dope.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that
so
on
what's
tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put that out.
Okay. What is? Okay, that's at Rock Till Morning.
Rock Till Morning, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what's one of the hardest things about running a radio station? What's one of the hardest things?
Believe it or not, it's kind of like the mindset of people. Like, people have gotten so self-serving that you can't fast forward. If you don't like the song, you can't push it to the next. So that is one of the biggest. Yeah, like, that's crazy how if they don't like the song, they'll turn it off. Like, there's another song coming on. Like, okay, you don't like this one. It's 3 minutes, 2 minutes sometimes. Just wait it out. You didn't care for it. There's another song coming on. That is one of the biggest. That instant gratification has really hurt a lot of things. You know what I mean? People have very short attention spans, and they want things to be the way they want them. Like, the format of regular radio, you're introduced to something, you decide whether you like it or not, you move on to the next thing. It's like,
right.
What do you mean? Like, why can't I forward it? Where's your app? Can you forward it in the app? Like
Pandora or something.
Yeah, like it's like my whole thing about that is, like, do you realize the effort that people put into their music? And for you to just skip past it, even if you don't care for it, it's 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like if you went to a show and you didn't like the opening act, would you just leave? Right,
because there's gonna be other great acts behind it.
Right, you're gonna wait to hear.
Or I might hear a song. I might hear a song by that. It might be a particular song that I will like by that specific act. So
Right, exactly. So it's just like it's so funny to me how people will just want to discard so quickly the moment they feel like this is not of interest. Next,
clean up all them great.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so
they just want to.
That's the biggest hurdle, radio wise. That's the biggest hurdle that I have to deal with.
Oh wow! Somebody. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. I just want to say hello to everybody in the comments. This is For the Love of Music. And we're with the wonderful DJ Chevy.
Thank you. Thank you.
He sounds amazing.
Yes, but yeah, you're right. The attention span is like
shot.
Yeah, especially in this day and age with technology, and we can just skip past the things,
And you miss a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You miss a lot. You truly miss a lot when you're impatient. So.
Yes, definitely. Yes. So, what would you say is your favorite genre of music? Favorite genre of music that you
rap.
That you play?
Rap. There's no other genre of rap there's no other genre of music that speaks to me like rap. Just isn't. I love and appreciate all. There's no other genre of rap there's no other genre of music that speaks to me like rap. Just isn't. I love and appreciate all of them. I don't really understand thrash metal. That's the only one that I've listened, I respect it, but it's just not something I can get into. But past that, you know what I mean? I love art.
Clean up that floor.
I love to see people, and be creative. But this thing we call rap is just something special. In my
Yes. That's beautiful. And you know what? I give props to the DJs out there. My parents were DJs, mom and dad, shout out to my mom and dad, Dangerous, Diana, Brewster Ball. They were the Steel Bill and all. So yeah, that's things they showed me like when I was younger, like it's like the way that they were on the turntables and stuff, and I see the way that the timing has to be. It's just like playing an instrument. Like, we were playing instruments and stuff, and I see your timing has to be perfect. When you put on, they show me you take off this record, you put on this record, and everything has to be on point.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is an art form.
Yes.
And you know what I mean?
Yes.
For you kind of into the generational conversation where some people, they don't really understand that. They think a DJ just music. And that's fine. I'm not knocking those that do that. But I do think that when you're dealing with a person who's dedicated time and energy and in building their skills in their craft, there's some type of distinction between those who just play music and those who are actually DJing. I think the hard part is compensation. You know what I mean? When I walk in with 30 years of experience, I don't want to be paid like I just started last week. And
I know that's right.
We don't like it. I think this profession is one of the most disrespected in the sense that people think that they can tell you what you're worth, or they can. When you go to a dentist, you can't tell him how much it costs for him to pull your tooth. You can't tell him that.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't tell him, well, I got a bad tooth and I'm going to pay you $70 to take it out. And he's going to say, you keep that bad tooth and get out my office. In DJing, it's that same thing. Like, It's like one quality DJ. You know what I mean? You get to a point where it's like, I'd rather play with my kids than get paid less than what I'm supposed to get paid. I'm not
exactly
music. I'm not just playing music. You called me for a reason. And when that happens, that compensation will be there. You know what I mean? And, you know, some people will take less. That's on them. I didn't invest this much of my life to take less. You know what I mean? I'm good.
I know that's right. I know that's right. You know.
Yeah.
Right, I can look at you and tell you made business when you walk up in the door.
And it, again, like I said, as a lot of the younger guys get older and they get some experience under their belt, they start to understand it. And by that time, they've taken such a a low cut or such a low pay that people don't want to pay them. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to pay them. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to know what your worth is, and you got to get that.
Exactly. Yes.
To move on. That's all.
Or they will cut you short.
Period.
Trust. Oh, peace and love. Okay, hello, Black Steel. I said Steel. Yeah, well, no, he's like an uncle to me. You know, God rest his soul. Yeah, but he's like an uncle to me. But you know, yeah, my parents were both DJs under him. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Where's one of your favorite venues?
Favorite? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be flat out honest. Anybody's basement. I love anybody's basement party. Let's get to it. Like that's where, again, like I said, that's where I fell in love with it. Yes, I've been in large venues. I've been in arenas. I've been in smaller venues, but there's nothing like that basement. That intimacy of that basement. That, like, this is what we're here for. You know what I mean? You ain't nobody trying to be cute in the basement. We just trying to have a good time. You know what I mean? Walls sweating. That's where I come from. That's what I love. And I don't think there could ever be a venue that would ever feel better than that. I don't think you can emulate that.
Yes.
So that's my favorite.
Yes, the basement parties. I say it's so like at home and like you're personal with the people and it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
I see a lot of the guys, they develop and they graduate to stints in Vegas and major clubs in Miami, and I see that and it looks really cool and it looks really I made it. You know what I mean? But for me, it's not about making it. It's literally not about making it. It's literally 100% about throwing that record on and just let's get to it. Right now in my life, I really want to throw a party with no phones. Like, check your phone.
Yes.
Leave it in the fucking car. Like, just come to party. Like, I get so sick.
Yes.
Of places not watch. Like, just recently I was out. I wasn't DJing, but I was out. And this young lady propped her phone up on the bar and was literally dancing on Instagram by herself. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are we really doing this right now? Like, you're at a bar with other humans, and you're dancing in front of Instagram on. Come on, this is not real life. This is not real life.
Oh my goodness, no.
So I was just like, yeah, I'd love to have one of those invite only, no phones. Bring your girl, bring your husband,
no phones.
Bring that. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
No phones. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, like I really want to see these. I'd like to do that in a way where these kids could see what it really was like to have a party.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And to, enjoy yourself. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's like I can't even count how many times I've been to like a spot, and I'll go out whatever, and it's like majority of crowd is younger, like in their 20s and stuff, and I'm like, but nobody's dancing, everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, the DJ's playing like some nice music, and you guys aren't dancing. Like, this is what I'm like. Forget this. I usually be the first one.
It's the wildest. It's just the wildest, and it's just like, if you don't know what you're doing, like as a DJ, you get a complex because it's like, wait a minute, I know I'm playing good music. Why are they not dancing? They didn't come there to dance.
Right.
They didn't come there for that. They came there to be seen and to talk about how they having a good time on Instagram. That's what I'm saying. Like, it is what it is. But like I said, I do really feel like there's going to be a moment where we can disconnect. You know what I mean? Detach, unplug, and just, have a good time. It's just going to take a few people, really wanting to have that happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's right around the corner.
Hooray! That would be dope. Like, that's something. Now that's something really dope. I say, have a party when nobody brings their phones. Yes. I'm like, life before social media and all this technology and all that stuff.
I agree.
I'm like, it's taking the place of people actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
And
you conversate all day long. It's just there's no human interaction as far as like people. They're just very detached when it comes to approaching another human being face to face. It's different.
Yes, it is. Yes. I'm like, take me back to the days when I had the house phone.
Right. That would be great. Get a landline, put it in the basement so everybody has the phone number just in case of emergency. Leave that phone at the leave that. There's a number here. You need to get a call. Somebody can get to you. Pass that. Come and have a good time.
Go sit down.
Right.
What's that?
Right.
That's what it's about.
Exactly. Not no BS. Yes. No drama. Never drama at home. Yes.
Sit down.
So, okay. So the basement parties, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, okay. Goodness gracious. I'm going to kick whoever. I told them, don't call during my show. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Them out. Excuse me. So, what advice do you have for upcoming artists and upcoming DJs?
Woo. Okay. Which one you want to go first?
What advice do you have for upcoming artists and upcoming DJs?
Woo. Okay. Which one you want to go first? Which one you want me to do first?
Whatever your heart feels.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with DJs. That's my trade.
Go sit down.
First thing is know your music. Love music.
Okay, I'll give you a hug.
Music.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know how to play it, it's disrespectful. You have to know what to play, when to play it, how to play it. That's a part of this craft. 2, let your skills speak before your reputation or your buzz or your it's so wild out here. They build names with no skills whatsoever. Like, you got all of this, you got 17,000 Instagram followers, and you couldn't blend 2 songs if your life depended on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, you have no skill set. It's all just name and branding. And then I would say last, and I say this to every DJ, I understand how big or how small, you do have a responsibility to play and introduce music, whether that be, music that people don't know, or whether that be, playing independent artists. We have a responsibility to introduce people to music. This is how the world goes around. You know what I mean? We cannot let major media dictate to us what's hot and what isn't. Don't do that.
Sit down.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Let's go with artists.
Sit down.
To these new artists.
Sit down.
Don't do that. This is a business. That is the very first thing that needs to be understood. If you have any intention of people compensating you for your work, you have to understand this is a business. Period. Okay? Next, and this is just my opinion, not everybody's going to like your shit. Get used to it. Get used to it. If you can't deal with, you know what I mean, like somebody telling you they don't like it, or if you can't deal with somebody critiquing you, this is not the business to get into at all. 3, which is important, this is about relationships. Under skills and building your skills, relationship is next. Because if you don't know how to court a DJ, if you don't know how to court an engineer or a studio, if you don't know how to, make yourself appealing to these people, what makes you think they're going to do anything for you? Like, it just doesn't work like that. These are relationships that work hand in hand and they get things done. And in my opinion, I can't speak for everybody else, it's more important than money. It's more important than money, because if you don't have no relationship, you're going to spend way more money than you have to. Now, don't get me wrong, you still got to spend money. When you have these relationships, you can kind of stretch that money a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, prime example, just if I hear a song that I like, you approach me, I like the song. Now, I could tell you, hey, it's going to cost you this to get it played better. You say, okay, whatever. But guess what else I'm going to do? I'm going to send it to 20 other DJs. So you understand what I mean? Like, you didn't have to pay all 20 of those DJs. Yeah, you may have had to pay me for this moment tonight because this is when you want to play it. But if you'd actually just got my information and emailed it to me and let me hear it beforehand, you probably wouldn't have had to pay for that. But at the end of the day, it's like the relationship is way more valuable than, a dollar amount.
Shush.
And again, that's me. I apologize for it being so dark, but the lights are off here in Brad.
Oh, no, it's okay. No problem. Yeah, I can still see you. That's all I can still see, everything. That's all that matters.
So, yeah, I think relationship is such an important part of what young artists need to understand and develop with everybody involved, and they don't. And then I would say last is that music is a 365-day, 366-day job. There's no days off. There's no days off. There's always something you could be, should be, and need to be doing. Why people, especially in this city, I can't speak for none other, this is the one that I've been in the most, they treat music seasonally. Everybody...
Right, like it's a hobby.
Well, not so much hobby, seasonally. So, like, prime example, you're going to see a lot of music come out at the end of this month. So...
like spring, summer.
Yeah, now everybody's an artist then. But November, December, and January, ain't nothing shaking. It's like, I don't understand. I literally don't understand it. Music is not seasonal.
I don't know. Or maybe the weather motivates people.
It's not seasonal. Music is not seasonal.
Exactly.
It's the craziest thing in the world here. It's just like people don't really want to move. They don't want to do things. Certain parts of the year, yeah. But yeah, that's what I said. I love my independent artists. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge supporter. I think one of the bad raps that I get is that I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge supporter. I think one of the bad raps that I get is that I'm hard on people. I'm really not. I just refuse to allow somebody who I feel has talent to bullshit themselves. I won't do it. Yeah, I love the music. If we both love the music, then we're fine. You're gonna do what you need to do to be great at it. I'm gonna do what I need to do to point things out to make it great. If that's not your goal, I'm probably the worst person you ever want to talk to. Dead ass. I'm the worst person you ever want to deal with, because my job is to make you what you're supposed to be. If that's what you say you want to be.
You take it seriously. This is something you take serious. And I see that, like, you know, in your lives and in your posts, you take this stuff seriously. It's supposed to be taken serious, you know? There's a fun part about it, and there's like there's very much a seriousness to it.
Correct.
You know? Yes. So what makes a song a good song? Like what are the qualities of a good song?
Wow, you hit me with a big one there. Okay, so first and foremost, that is strictly 100% a matter of opinion. What I may feel is an absolute magnificent song, you may feel is the worst thing that was ever recorded. It's just the way it is. So that's a matter of opinion. The success of a song is depending on sales, streams, marketing. There's some great songs that are never going to get heard because they don't have the money or they don't have the knowledge to market them. If you can't market, then you can't pick up more sales, you can't pick up more streams. So I'm, going to say that a successful song does rely on marketing. But as far as what I feel, me personally, is a good song is a song that I can understand and relate to.
Open it.
Beat fits the concept.
Okay.
And that the artist marries that beat in a way that they both get space. Sometimes beats are way too full and way too, there's too much going on, and I think it drowns the artist out. And then there's some beats that are empty that are good beats, but because these artists don't really say shit, they tank. Because, you know what I mean, that space is deafening. They don't know what to say.
Yeah.
That happens. But overall, I feel like a good song is something that a person can identify with, that hits them in a certain way, and that you want to tell people about it. I've heard songs like, yo, bro, you got to hear this. To me, that's a good song. When you immediately want to share or somebody else to hear it, it's a good song.
Word. Black Steel says, Chev, you're so much nicer than me.
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah, he's rough.
You be good. Look, I love it, man. Cause I'm like, when I seen you on the live and you were talking about sound checks, I was like, look, this dude is so freaking passionate about what he does, and it's
yeah.
I said, I gotta have one. I gotta have yes.
They play games like that's.
Cause I'll be feeling the same way. I'm like,
hold on one second. Figure this out.
feeling the same way, like, but I can't say it like the way I don't be saying it the way you say it.
Yeah. 1 second. Figure this out.